My name is Liam McQuillan and I'm CEO of Leopa. Today I'd like to talk about our Shravi patient care communications aid. Next slide, please. So Shravi is a communications aid for patients with severely impaired speech. It's categorized broadly as an alternative and augmentative communications device. The Shravi application is based on our patent pending lip reading technology. So our technology can analyze lip movements in video and figure out what someone's trying to say. So effectively, sorry, next slide, please. So effectively, we're giving a voice to the voiceless. We're initially focusing on in-hospital critical care environments, although Shravi can be used in any setting, for example, at home. Next slide, please. So there are many conditions that can impact a patient's ability to speak, either temporarily or permanently. Within critical care environments, it's common, for example, to have patients with tracheostomies and laryngectomies, and these procedures can severely impact their ability to speak. Also, prolonged periods on ventilators will damage the voice box and vocal cords, sometimes irreparably. So this sudden inability for these patients to communicate can cause them a lot of stress and impact their mental and physical well-being. It's also worth noting that ICU-based COVID patients are commonly given tracheostomies to wean them off ventilators. So the numbers of patients within these critical care environments that are presenting with severe communications issues is rising dramatically currently. So these patients and their carers often need to communicate brief but urgent information quickly. Next slide, please. So there are quite a few existing products out there in the market today that can help people with severe speech impairment, but these are almost all what's known as grid-based. So the user selects letters, words, symbols from a grid, and then builds up sentences which can then be vocalized. So these products are wholly unsuitable for critical care environments and patients within critical care environments for many reasons. Primarily, these patients are generally very unwell and they just don't have the mental capability nor the manual dexterity to operate these grid-based devices. Also, many of these devices require bespoke stands and mounting brackets around the bed, and that's simply not feasible or practical within a dynamic intensive care unit. And also, a lot of these current grid-based devices are configured specifically for a particular user, so they can't really be shared amongst patients. Next slide, please. So this is where Shravi comes in. Shravi is the first patient care communications aid focused specifically on unwell patients. The doctor, nurse, clinician simply downloads the Shravi application onto their smartphone and they point the camera towards the patient. The patient will attempt to say something, and Shravi and our lip reading technology will analyze the video, figure out what they're trying to say, and this gets returned in text format onto the device screen and can then be vocalized so everyone can hear it. There's no user training needed. All the patient needs to do is to be able to move their lips, and this can allow them to communicate this urgent basic information quickly to their carers. We've also just brought out a new feature called Remote Shravi, which allows these speech impaired patients to communicate over video chat with their loved ones at home. Next slide, please. So we have trials ongoing within the NHS in a number of ICUs. We're planning on commercially launching the Shravi product at the end of this quarter. We're currently about 75% of the way through getting our CE marking. Currently, the application supports English, although we're rapidly developing a variant that supports Mandarin. And in Q2 and Q3, we'll, on a business needs basis, we'll support other languages. Next slide, please. Yeah, so we feel that Travi has particular relevance for the GCC region. Within that region, there's an increased focus on medtech, on particularly AI, machine learning, deep learning based solutions, and Travi is a really good example of that. There is an aging demographic. People are getting older, they're living an increased sedentary lifestyle, and there's a projected rise in chronic conditions in the future, and therefore more ICU admissions, more people on ventilators, etc. So we're very eager to develop partnerships and distributor relations within the region. Next slide, please. Yeah, so I'll just leave you with a quote from a lead ICU clinician within the NHS whose team have been using Travi over the last few months. So thank you, and any questions, very glad to take them at the end. Thanks.
Thank you, Liam. Really good to see how technology is revolutionizing the healthcare systems, and sort of a glimpse into the future as well on how healthcare would look like in terms of integration with different technologies. Thank you for that. And I just want to reiterate, if you guys have any questions for any of the companies that are presenting today, do please drop them into the chat box, and we'll be taking them at the end of the presentations as well. And we will be sharing the slide deck with everyone as well, so you'll have a copy of all the slides as well. Now, I'd like to welcome Jeffrey Prince, who's the Managing Director at Medazar Sanitizer Products Limited. Jeffrey, if you'd like to unmute yourself and switch on your camera.